闭眼背雅思单词
的领导
He seemed a dynamic and energetic leader.
Coordinate.
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 调整、协调。
Can you give me your coordinates?
能给我你的坐标吗？
Can you give me your coordinates?
Astronomy.
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 天文学。
We are on the threshold of a new era in astronomy.
我们将迈入天文学的新时代。
We are on the threshold of a new era in astronomy.
Divisional.
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 部门的。
She is divisional sales manager for the Philadelphia region.
他是费城地区的部门销售经理。
She is divisional sales manager for the Philadelphia region.
Trimester.
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 3月期，学期。
At the end of the first trimester, the fetus is about 3 inches long.
在怀孕的第3个月末，胎儿差不多有3英寸长了。
At the end of the first trimester, the fetus is about 3 inches long.
Accountancy.
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 会计工作，会计职业。
Wheelchair.
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 轮椅。
Many new trains have space for wheelchair users.
许多新火车都为坐轮椅者留有空间。
Many new trains have space for wheelchair users.
Windscreen.
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 挡风玻璃，风挡。
She tore the windscreen wipers from his car.
他猛地扯掉了他车上的雨刮器。
She tore the windscreen wipers from his car.
Despoil.
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 抢夺、掠夺、蹂躏、破坏。
Athlete.
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 运动员、体育家。
I was no athlete.
我完全不是运动型的人。
I was no athlete.
Tube.
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 管道、试管、英地铁。
I work in the extruded tube business.
我在挤压管行业工作。
I work in the extruded tube business.
Demonstrate.
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 论证、证实、演示、说明、举行示威游行。
We must demonstrate that aggression will not pay.
我们必须证明侵犯是没有好处的。
We must demonstrate that aggression will not pay.
Hire.
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 租用、雇用。
They hired a nurse to care for her.
他们雇了个护士来照顾她。
They hired a nurse to care for her.
Flush.
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 冲洗、清除、发红、脸红、分流。
He heard the flush of a toilet.
他听到马桶的冲水声。
He heard the flush of a toilet.
Throughout.
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 遍及，在各处。
She sat next to him throughout the meal.
他在这一顿饭的时间里坐在他旁边。
She sat next to him throughout the meal.
Vivid.
vivid,
Vivid.
鲜艳的，生动的。
Latanya is a woman with a vivid imagination.
拉塔尼亚是一个想象力丰富的女人。
Latanya is a woman with a vivid imagination.
Decompose.
decompose,
Decompose.
分解、腐烂。
The debris slowly decomposes into compost.
这堆碎屑慢慢的分解变成了堆肥。
The debris slowly decomposes into compost.
Maneuver.
maneuver,
Maneuver.
移动、转动、操纵、控制。
The wheels pivot for easy maneuvering.
这些轮子绕轴转动，以方便操控。
The wheels pivot for easy maneuvering.
Kit.
kit,
Kit.
成套工具。
My boyhood hero was Kit Carson.
我孩提时的偶像是基特·卡森。
My boyhood hero was Kit Carson.
Inventory.
inventory,
Inventory.
目录、存货。
They're likely to hold big fire sales to liquidate their inventory.
为了盘活库存，他们很可能会进行大甩卖。
They're likely to hold big fire sales to liquidate their inventory.
Turnover.
turnover,
Turnover.
营业额、人事变动率、货物周转率。
My turnover increased spectacularly.
我的营业额大幅上升。
My turnover increased spectacularly.
graphology, graphology, graphology,
笔记学、笔象学。
Virtue.
virtue,
Virtue.
美德、优点。
His virtue is patience.
他的美德就是耐心。
His virtue is patience.
Coverage.
coverage,
Coverage.
新闻报道，覆盖范围。
The media coverage was shocking.
媒体的报道糟透了。
The media coverage was shocking.
Brutal.
brutal,
Brutal.
野兽般的、残忍的、无情的、冷酷的。
This is a brutal killing.
这是一起残忍的谋杀。
This is a brutal killing.
Transmit.
transmit,
Transmit.
传送、传染、发射。
The game was transmitted live.
这场比赛被现场直播。
The game was transmitted live.
Allocation.
allocation,
Allocation.
配给、分配、安置、配给量。
Town planning and land allocation had to be coordinated.
城镇规划和土地分配决定必须要协调。
Town planning and land allocation had to be coordinated.
Corrupt.
corrupt,
Corrupt.
腐化、腐蚀、使堕落、破坏、损坏。
Power tends to corrupt.
权力容易造成腐化。
Power tends to corrupt.
Weaken.
weaken,
Weaken.
变弱、减弱。
Jenny weakened and finally relented.
珍妮犹豫一下，最终不再拒绝了。
Jenny weakened and finally relented.
Figure.
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 是重要部分，认为，计算，估计。
The figure gave a screech.
那个人影发出了一声尖叫。
The figure gave a screech.
Normal.
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 正常的，平常的，标准的，规范的，正规的。
Her blood count was normal.
她的血球指数正常。
Her blood count was normal.
Consumption.
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 消耗，消费。
The seeds were not meant for human consumption.
这些种子并不是给人吃的。
The seeds were not meant for human consumption.
Voltage.
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 电压，
The systems are getting smaller and using lower voltages.
这些系统正变得更小，而且使用更低的电压。
The systems are getting smaller and using lower voltages.
Consulate.
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 领事馆，领事职位，领事任期。
The consulate will carry on a political dialogue with Indonesia.
领事馆将与印度尼西亚展开政治对话。
The consulate will carry on a political dialogue with Indonesia.
Mediocre.
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 平庸的，平凡的。
His school record was mediocre.
他的学业成绩一般。
His school record was mediocre.
Socialize.
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 来往，交往，交际，使适应社会生活。
Periodical.
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 周期的，定期的。
She made periodical visits to her dentist.
他定期去看牙医。
She made periodical visits to her dentist.
Migration.
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 迁徙，移居，移民。
During the last recession, migration to the Sunbelt accelerated.
前一个经济萧条期间，向美国南部阳光地带移民的速度加快了。
During the last recession, migration to the Sunbelt accelerated.
Drought.
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 干旱，旱灾。
And now the drought in Sudan.
现在接下来是关于苏丹的干旱。
And now the drought in Sudan.
Unbiased.
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 公正的，没有偏见的。
There is no clear and unbiased information available for consumers.
没有清楚公正的信息提供给消费者。
There is no clear and unbiased information available for consumers.
Advertise.
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 会做广告、宣传、公告、公布。
I work in advertising.
我在广告业工作。
I work in advertising.
Compromise.
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 妥协、放弃、危急。
He made the fatal mistake of compromising early.
他犯了妥协早了的致命错误。
He made the fatal mistake of compromising early.
leaflet,
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 散发传单。
The leaflet is in PDF format.
这个传单用的是可移植文档格式。
The leaflet is in PDF format.
credential,
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 证明书、资格证书、证件。
punctual, punctual, punctual,
守时的、准时的。
He's always very punctual. I'll see if he's here yet.
他一向很准时，我要看看他是不是已经来了。
He's always very punctual. I'll see if he's here yet.
commencement,
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 开始、开端、毕业典礼。
President Bush gave the commencement address today at the University of Notre Dame.
布什总统今天在巴黎圣母院大学发表了毕业典礼演说。
President Bush gave the commencement address today at the University of Notre Dame.
comparative,
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 比较的、相当的。
The comparative of pretty is prettier.
的比较级是。
The comparative of pretty is prettier.
gullibly,
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 轻信的、易受欺骗的。
sack,
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 麻袋、粗布袋。解雇、劫掠。
He shielded his head from the sun with an old sack.
他用一个旧袋子遮住头来防晒。
He shielded his head from the sun with an old sack.
feedback,
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 反馈、反馈信息。
The microphone screeched with feedback.
麦克风发出了尖利的噪声。
The microphone screeched with feedback.
dissemination,
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 散布、传播。
He actively promoted the dissemination of scientific ideas about matters such as morality.
他积极地推动诸如道德之类的科学观念的传播。
He actively promoted the dissemination of scientific ideas about matters such as morality.
review,
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 回顾、复习、评论。
The play received rave reviews.
该剧获得了许多热评。
The play received rave reviews.
justify,
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 证明为正当的，为辩护。
No argument can justify a war.
没有任何理由能证明一个战争有理。
No argument can justify a war.
dreadful,
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 可怕的，令人不快的。
We've made a dreadful mistake.
我们犯了一个很大的错误。
We've made a dreadful mistake.
roam,
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 随便走、漫游、徜徉、漫谈某事。
Bobcats roam wild in the mountains.
北美短尾猫无拘无束地漫游在群山中。
Bobcats roam wild in the mountains.
simulate,
simulate,
Simulate.
模仿、模拟、假装、伪装、扮演。
They rolled about on the Gilligan Road, simulating a bloodthirsty fight.
他们在吉利根路上打滚，模拟一场血腥的战斗。
They rolled about on the Gilligan Road, simulating a bloodthirsty fight.
Plagiarism.
plagiarism,
Plagiarism.
剽窃、抄袭、剽窃物。
Now he's in real trouble. He's accused of plagiarism.
现在他陷入真正的麻烦了，他被指控剽窃。
Now he's in real trouble. He's accused of plagiarism.
Timber.
timber,
Timber.
木材、木料、动木、大梁。
Existing timbers are replaced or renewed.
现有的木材在被替换或更新。
Existing timbers are replaced or renewed.
Inclusive.
inclusive,
Inclusive.
包括一切费用在内的，所有数目包括在内的，包容广阔的。
The Academy is far more inclusive now than it used to be.
该学院如今比过去更为兼收并蓄。
The Academy is far more inclusive now than it used to be.
Tighten.
tighten,
Tighten.
变紧，使更加严格、加强。
The thought of Nick made her throat tighten.
一想到尼克，就会让他的喉咙发紧。
The thought of Nick made her throat tighten.
Efficiency.
efficiency,
Efficiency.
效率、功效、效能。
It was achieved with minimum fuss and maximum efficiency.
它以最少的慌乱和最高的效率被做到了。
It was achieved with minimum fuss and maximum efficiency.
Natural.
natural,
Natural.
正常的、普通的、自然的、自然界的、天然的、天赋的、固有的。
Crying is a natural safety valve.
哭泣是一种自然的释放压力的手段。
Crying is a natural safety valve.
Goal.
goal,
Goal.
球门、射门、进球得分。目标。
The goal was disallowed.
那一次进球得分被判无效。
The goal was disallowed.
Overhead.
overhead,
Overhead.
在空中，在头顶上，在高处。
Overhead cranes were lifting giant sheets of steel.
高架起重机正吊起一块块巨大的钢材。
Overhead cranes were lifting giant sheets of steel.
Hive.
hive,
Hive.
入蜂箱，群居。
In the morning, the house was a hive of activity.
早上，这幢房子是忙碌的地方。
In the morning, the house was a hive of activity.
Victimize.
victimise,
Victimize.
受害、迫害。
In vain.
invain,
In vain.
突然，无效。
She and a neighbor tried in vain to revive him.
他和一个邻居试图使他苏醒过来，却没有成功。
She and a neighbor tried in vain to revive him.
Comprehension.
comprehension,
Comprehension.
理解、理解力。
This was utterly beyond her comprehension.
这完全超出了他的理解力。
This was utterly beyond her comprehension.
Plagiarize.
Plagiarise.
Plagiarize.
剽窃、抄袭。
Intact.
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 完整无缺的，完好无损的。
Natural resources should be handed on to the next generation intact.
自然资源应该完好无损地传给下一代。
Natural resources should be handed on to the next generation intact.
Juvenile.
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 少年的，少年特有的，幼稚的，不成熟的。
Juvenile crime is increasing at a terrifying rate.
青少年犯罪在以惊人的速度增加。
Juvenile crime is increasing at a terrifying rate.
Pervasive.
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 遍布的，弥漫的。
Managerial.
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 经理的，管理的，经营的。
He has also had managerial experience on every level.
他还具备各层次的管理经验。
He has also had managerial experience on every level.
Spasmodic.
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 痉挛的，间歇性的。
He managed to stifle the spasmodic sobs of panic rising in his throat.
他竭力地抑制了自己，没从喉咙中发出惊恐的哭声。
He managed to stifle the spasmodic sobs of panic rising in his throat.
Intestine.
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 结肠。
The colon or large intestine distends and fills with gas.
结肠也叫大肠，内部填满气体膨胀起来。
The colon or large intestine distends and fills with gas.
Sympathetic.
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 同情的，体谅的，赞同的，支持的，和谐的。
Sue got a sympathetic round of applause.
苏获得了一阵同情的掌声。
Sue got a sympathetic round of applause.
Seasonal.
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 季节性的，随季节而变化的，节令性的。
Most seasonal hiring is done in early October.
多数季节性招聘是在10月初进行。
Most seasonal hiring is done in early October.
Wean.
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 断奶，戒掉。
When would be the best time to start weaning my baby?
什么时候开始给我的孩子断奶最好呢？
When would be the best time to start weaning my baby?
Overseas.
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 向国外，在海外，在外国。
Nearly half the students come from overseas.
几乎一半学生来自海外。
Nearly half the students come from overseas.
Topsoil.
Topsoil.
Topsoil.